You are standing in a room full of people. They are talking. They are laughing. Decisions are being made. And somehow you are still invisible. You speak and people look past you. You explain and people twist your words. You try to be reasonable and someone turns that kindness into a weapon. Does that sound familiar? You feel the exhaustion of carrying respect that nobody gives you. The quiet anger of being dismissed. The strange feeling that someone in your life is always one step ahead in a game you never agreed to play. And late at night, you start asking yourself a question. How are they doing this? How are they always calm when you are frustrated? How do they twist situations until you look like the problem? How do they walk away with control while you walk away confused? Listen carefully. Narcissists are not smarter than you. They are simply playing a game you were never taught the rules to. Tonight that changes. Tonight you learn the language of power. Tonight you learn why silence can be a weapon. Tonight you learn why the person everyone ignored can become the one nobody can control. And understand this clearly. By the time this video ends, you will never look at manipulation the same way again. Now, here is the part that separates people who understand power from people who only complain about it. Tactic 1. Go gray rock. Narcissists feed on reaction. Anger feeds them. Tears feed them. Excitement feeds them. Even your explanations feed them. Emotion is their fuel. So what happens when the fuel disappears? Imagine a gray rock sitting on the side of a road. It does not argue. It does not react. It does not entertain anyone. It simply exists. You become that rock. Boring, flat, emotionless. When they provoke you, answer with one word. When they accuse you, give them nothing. When they try to create drama, respond with calm silence. They want fire. Give them cold stone. This will feel unnatural at first. Every instinct inside you will scream to defend yourself, to explain, to prove them wrong. Do not, because explanation is attention. And attention is power. Every time you refuse to react, their control weakens. Let the silence sit in the room like a throne. The throne of silence is stronger than any argument you could ever win. Remember that. Now ask yourself something honestly. Who in your life feeds on your reactions? Write it in the comments if you have the courage. One word. Just the role. Boss, partner, friend, family. Say it out loud in your own mind. Because the moment you identify the player, the game begins to change. But here is where the game becomes deeper. Tactic 2. Control your information. Niccolo Machiavelli once wrote that a wise man does not reveal all of his plans. Think about that. Narcissists are hunters of information. They collect small details about you, your fears, your dreams, your past mistakes. At first, it feels like interest. Later, it becomes ammunition. Have you ever had someone repeat your own words back to you in a twisted way? Have you ever trusted someone with something personal only to see it used against you later? That is not an accident. That is strategy. So you must become something different. You must become a vault. Speak less. Observe more. You do not need to explain your goals. You do not need to reveal every plan. You do not need to expose every weakness. The less they know, the less they can weaponize. Power loves mystery. When people cannot read your playbook, they cannot sabotage your moves. Now, answer this honestly. Has anyone ever used your own words against you? If the answer is yes, type 1 word in the comments. Experienced, do not explain, do not justify, just that word, because what comes next changes the balance completely. Most people stop paying attention here. The ones who keep listening are the ones who start winning. Tactic 3. Strategic mirroring. Imagine a mirror placed in front of someone who refuses to see themselves. At first, they are confused. Then they are uncomfortable. Then they become careful. When a narcissist sees their own behavior reflected back calmly, something strange happens. Their script stops working. If they become cold, you become colder. If they pull away, you step back further. If they delay communication, you delay longer. You are not copying them emotionally. You are matching their moves strategically. Think of power as a language. Most people speak emotion. Narcissists speak control. Mirroring is how you start speaking their language. Marcus Aurelius said something powerful. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength is discipline. You control your reactions. You control your pace. You control your presence. And suddenly, the person who once controlled the room begins to lose their balance. But watch carefully, because the next tactic breaks most people, and the few who master it become impossible to manipulate. Tactic 4. Never explain, never justify. When someone attacks your character, what do you want to do? You want to defend yourself. You want to prove them wrong. You want to present facts. You want to explain your intentions. That instinct is natural. It is also exactly what manipulators want. Explanation signals insecurity. Silence signals strength. Imagine someone accusing you unfairly. They expect a debate. They expect emotion. They expect a long defense. Instead, you look at them calmly, and you say only this: "That is interesting." Then you walk away. What just happened? You refused the courtroom. You refused the role of the accused. You refused to hand them the judge's hammer. The moment you start justifying yourself, you place yourself on trial. Powerful people do not beg to be believed. They move forward. Now tell me something. Are you usually the silent power or the defending pawn? Be honest. Write one word in the comments. Power or pawn. No explanation. Just truth. Because the next tactic is where strategy becomes leverage. Tactic 5. Use their ego as a tool. Every narcissist has one weakness: their ego. They crave admiration the way most people crave oxygen. Without it, they feel invisible. So instead of fighting their ego, you study it. What do they want recognition for? What image do they desperately try to protect? You observe, then you use it strategically. You give controlled validation. Not constant praise, not empty flattery, selective recognition, enough to keep them comfortable, not enough to give them control. And something interesting happens. They begin to value your approval. The power slowly shifts, because whoever controls validation controls influence. History proves this principle. Abraham Lincoln surrounded himself with rivals who once opposed him. Instead of crushing them, he placed them in positions of responsibility and respect. They felt valued. They became loyal, and Lincoln quietly became the most powerful voice in the room. He did not win through ego battles. He won through psychological leverage. But leverage alone is not enough, because the real shield against manipulation is coming next. Tactic 6. Build your power base. Isolation is the favorite weapon of every manipulator. When you are alone, you are easier to control, easier to intimidate, easier to silence. So the solution is simple: build connections, real ones, invest in friendships, reconnect with mentors, strengthen professional relationships, not for appearance, for strength. Your network is armor. When you have strong allies, threats lose their power, gossip loses its impact, manipulation loses its reach. Because one person can be ignored, but a respected network cannot be erased. Think about this carefully. Who is the one person in your life who genuinely wants to see you win? One person. Write their role in the comments. Friend, brother, mentor, teacher. Then contact them this week. Power grows in quiet alliances. And speaking of quiet strength, the next tactic changes everything inside you. Tactic 7. Detach from the outcome. This is where emotional pain becomes strategy. Manipulators win when you desperately want something from them. Their approval, their respect, their apology. As long as you crave those things, they control the scoreboard. So, you must do something difficult. Let it go. Let go of needing their validation. Let go of needing closure. Let go of needing them to understand you. Act from strategy, not emotional hunger. When you expect nothing from them, you become untouchable. Their praise means nothing. Their criticism means nothing. You become calm, calculated, free. Robert Greene once wrote that the most dangerous person in any room is the person who has nothing to prove. Become that person, because the final tactic is not emotional. It is surgical. Tactic 8. Document everything and exit with leverage. When the time comes to remove a narcissist from your life, do not do it in anger. Do it with precision. Record patterns of behavior. Keep dates. Keep evidence. Not for revenge, for protection. Manipulators often rewrite history. They deny what happened. They shift blame. They create confusion. Evidence destroys that illusion. Then, when the moment arrives, you leave quietly. No dramatic speech. No emotional farewell. Just distance. Permanently. You close the door from a position of strength. Understand something important. The people who use these tactics do not become cruel. They become clear. There is a difference between becoming cold and becoming strategic. You are not losing your humanity. You are protecting it. Now you have 8 tools. But tools sitting on a table change nothing. Action changes everything. Start with one tactic this week. Master the gray rock method. Practice silence. Observe reactions. Power is not built through watching videos. Power is built through disciplined repetition. If this message felt like it was speaking directly to you, do something simple. Save this video and watch it again before your next interaction with someone who plays mind games. Each time you return, the strategies will become clearer. And if you are ready to stop moving like a pawn and start thinking like the player, do 3 things right now. Press like, subscribe, and write this sentence in the comments as a commitment to yourself. I choose power over pity. Type it slowly, mean it, because the next video will reveal something even deeper. How narcissists select their targets. And the exact moment they decide someone is too strong to manipulate. Most people will never learn that. But the few who stay will. And remember this one truth when you walk into your next room full of people. Power is a language, and the moment you learn to speak it, Silence becomes your loudest weapon.